All right, welcome back to coverage of Grand Prix Oklahoma City. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe. I'm in the booth with Jacob Van Lunen, and we have made it. It is the top 8. We're in the quarterfinals right now. We just watched John Pennock draft his deck. He's playing against Will Lowry. Will had an amazing tear really through this tournament. He's the first seed coming into the top 8. And he only dropped one match. He lost no matches in sealed, and he 5-1 the draft. So truly impressive performance for Will, and he's certainly going to give Dr. Pennock, as he is known on Magic Online, all he can handle here. There's a turn 2 Omen Speaker here.
I think it's pretty likely that we're going to see Pennock keep both of these cards on top. Triton Fortune Hunter has Ordeal of Thassa to follow it up with, so he's going to get to draw an extra card off that, Kraken for 3 right away.
Okay.
And,
now he looks like he pushed 1.
Okay, so the burnished heart is almost certainly going to the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's a Fortune Hunter off the top. Yeah, you were right about that one, JVL. And is there a missed land drop here for Will Lowry?
It seems like there is. I mean, the majority of his deck costs 2 or less mana, but it seems that he doesn't even have one of those 2 drops in his hand.
Okay.
I don't know. I think his deck might want to aggressively mulligan in these games, and it seems like he didn't do that.
All right, well, there's a land off the top there for Will Lowry. He's a white-blue deck, as you can see. He's got
Extremely
a Nimbus
aggressive.
Naiad. He's very aggressive?
Yes, he's only playing 16 lands, as a matter of fact.
Oh, okay. Well, he seems to have gotten there. He's got a Nimbus Naiad pulled to the front. I can't really tell what else he's got, but an island to kick things off. And he's going to play... that's interesting. He's going to lead off with the Lagana Ban Elder there.
See, I actually like that play. I mean,
Okay.
he's playing around an Ordeal getting put on the Triton Fortune Hunter.
Ah, I see.
And
very nice.
Conveniently, Pennock does have that Ordeal, so strong play there.
That's sweet, because if he would have let off with the Nimbus Naiad, then he could play the Lagana Ban Elder the next turn and gain the 3 life to help with some type of race, get in for some damage. But yeah, now he's made that Ordeal look a lot worse that John Pennock has in his hand. All right, so let's see what he's going to kick this turn off with. It is Nylea's Disciple. So gain 2 life. He's going to gain life equal to his devotion to green. In this case, he's only got the 1 green creature, but he just has to say go here.
Yeah, I mean, Will Lowry, he has a 3-2 in play. A Lagana Band Elder is going to, not be worth as much value as a Triton Fortune Hunter as the game drags on. So
here's a Wingsteed Rider for Will Lowry, and he's going to pass the turn back. No land drop again. So he's missed a couple of land drops. He hit it last turn. Didn't hit it this turn. 16 lands is, I see he has an Observant Alseid and a Nimbus Naiad in his hand. Feels like him hitting land drops isn't that bad for him, Just running the full 17.
Oh yeah, I don't think you necessarily have to play 16 when you have like a whole bunch of things that can bestow, because then you want to hit your land drops in the first 3 turns anyway, and then if you draw a 4th and 5th land, that's pretty nice,
Yeah.
Getting to turn those Windrakes into Griffin Guides is pretty nice.
Yep. All right. So Lagana Ben Elder is going to trade off here for Nylea's Disciple, but that allows 2 damage to sneak through, drop Will Lowry down to 17. And what's the follow-up play? Well, we know he has 2 of these. For those of you that were watching him draft, we got to see him pick up 2 Centaur Battlemasters.
Yeah, and Will Lowry just found a Divine Verdict, so it's going to be a pretty good one here. He might leave open the mana for that, but if he does, Pennock's a smart enough guy that I doubt Pennock's going to go ahead and try to stick an Ordeal onto a Centaur Battlemaster when his opponent has 4 mana open. So
now, will he have 4 mana open?
Oh, it's looking like no. Yeah, he doesn't have that 4th land.
Still hasn't drawn that land, so Observant Alseid on turn 100 is definitely not what Will Lowry had in mind when he put this deck together.
Definitely not. All right, so an Ordeal of Thassa coming down in the center of Battlemaster, making it into a 6/6 before it attacks. And then it's going to become a 7/7 when it attacks, and John is going to draw 2 extra cards. So that Ordeal of Thassa will be a 2-mana target creature gets 4+1/+1 counters and draw 2 cards. Pretty good deal for 2 mana, I imagine.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So here's the 7/7, and yeah, we're not scrying, we're just drawing them. And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll go down to 10, I guess. Can't be happy about it, but really doesn't have a choice here.
I mean, that's just a ton of damage.
Yeah, this is just going to get ugly. Wow, is that even a Savage Surge in hand, too?
Yeah, I mean, he could have put him down to 5.
He could have put him down to 5.
But there's not really any reason to. I mean, the Battlemaster is now lethal anytime it attacks from now until eternity. So
what does he have in his hand, though, that he's keeping up the mana for here?
maybe nothing. I don't know.
Okay, because, I mean, wouldn't you attack with the Fortune Hunter there, too, then?
Got a 7 after you attack.
So that you could use the Savage Surge to draw a card and potentially get him?
Well, no, because you want to hold the Savage Surge in your hand so that the center of Battlemaster is lethal if he ever lets it through again.
Okay.
Get 7. Upkeep.
Right, I mean, it's unlikely that your opponent's going to let it through again, but...
Spark Jolt on.
Yeah.
Strike.
Maybe I just like drawing cards too much.
Yeah, yeah, and then he's just going to trample it.
Yeah, here's the Nylea's Emissary. Well, he's actually going to put it on the Fortune Hunter here.
I'm pretty surprised by that. I mean, his opponent is tapped out. He does have the 7/7.
Yeah,
That would make that guy into a 13/13. And then he can just attack with the Battlemaster and the Fortune Hunter, and his opponent automatically dies.
Yeah.
So I definitely like putting that on the Battlemaster better because you win the game.
Because you
this
just
turn.
win the game that turn. Yeah. Okay.
It's usually a stronger play.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I found somebody who likes drawing cards even more than me. But still, John Pennock in the driver's seat here in a big way.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's
very few
crushing
cards
this
that
game.
matter here, though. Divine Verdict now. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, I don't think the Divine Verdict is going to help Will Lowry that much. I mean, Pennock, I think, has more cards in hand, even.
Okay. But, I mean, we're going to see a couple of draw steps here for Will Lowry if he does pull off that Verdict, right?
A couple might be a generous statement. I don't think so. I think once he taps all his mana for that, remember that the Fortune Hunter does have Trample, so John can just target it with like a pump spell or two.
You're right. Totally.
And then Lowry just dies anyway. So.
Okay. Yep, you're right. Because he can't kill both. You know, Will Lowry really does need to be able to interact with both creatures, and he's not going to be able to do that this turn.
Yeah.
So attack with both. And then, so the play here is to Verdict the Fortune Hunter and Chump Block? Is that what we're doing? If you're sitting in Will Lowry's seat?
I think so. I think that's all you really can do.
Yuck. There's Divine Verdict. Not to be confused with Supreme Verdict, which would be much better here. There's a Chump Block.
I mean, Supreme Verdict would even leave the 3/3 trample behind.
It would.
And then Pennock could just, just pump it and kill him anyway.
Totally true.
It doesn't even help.
That's brutal. And there's Divine Verdict. Kill the Fortune Hunter.
He'd have like the ideal rare from a different set. That's still not good enough.
It's still not good enough. Yeah. So John Pennock way, way, way ahead at this point.
Oh, look, he has an unblockable creature in his hand too.
And did he just blank a draw step with a Grip Tide as well? Make sure that there's no lands, nothing fishy comes up, and I think we're going to see a concession here.
Seems like it.
In much deeper trouble than it looked like you were when you came out of the gate.
Yeah. Wow, John Pennock just punishing Will Lowry for missing some land drops and keeping kind of a sketchy, a no 2-drop, no third land opener, and just burying him here.
Could have been much worse, I guess.
There's a
Wasn't going to mulligan to 5.
Battle-wise Hoplite for Will Lowry, and he's also got a Traveling Philosopher, so he did manage to come up with a couple of chump blockers, but that's not going to do it.
Yeah, Pennock can just attack with everybody, and then he wins anyway.
He wins anyway. Yeah, the one trample from the Emissary is going to be enough when combined with the unblockable potentially unblockable. Just the 3 damage from the Horizon and also the 1 damage from the Omen Spear.
And that's exactly 5, even if Lowry blocks the maximum efficiency.
Yep. All right, so John Pennock. Here we're in the quarterfinals, and he is up a game. Not a bad place to be.
Deck.
Yeah, it's okay. You get a look at John. He plays on he plays on Magic Online a lot as Dr. Pennock.
Yeah, known a lot as a master of known formats. So this is a brand new format. We're finding him in the top 8 here. He and Jerry Thompson are the people who you'd like to talk to when you're trying to figure out what you should be playing at a PTQ. Are you trying to figure out how to tweak your Call Blade deck, how to tweak your sweet whatever deck?
Nice.
They're the guys you want to talk to.
Upcoming webcast schedule, Pro Tour Theros next weekend. Please do join us. That will be a fun one. Jake will be competing. I will be commentating. Standard and Theros draft. That's just next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. GP Louisville is the weekend after that. Jake, you and I will also be there, October 19th and 20th. Another week after that. This one we're over in Europe, Grand Prix Antwerp. That is Modern, and our European coverage team is going to be covering that. I can't wait to watch that. I love Modern. Grand Prix
I love the
Valencia.
European coverage team.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah. They make it easy, to watch, understand what's going on. I love that. Grand Prix Valencia, Theros Limited, November 9th and 10th. GPDC is Legacy, and it's on November 16th and 17th, following weekend. I'm going to be there, watching some Legacy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll be there battling.
You're going to battle?
I think so.
Do you know what you're going to run yet?
No, it's like over a month from now.
Dude, it's Legacy. What, you think there's going to be like a new deck? Grand Prix Albuquerque Standard, November 23rd through 24th. I'll be there. Grand
I'll
Prix
also be there.
Vienna is Standard, November 30th through December 1st, and that takes us to the end of the calendar year, I believe. Don't think we have any more webcasts for the rest of December after that.
We've got a lot of traveling coming up, don't we?
Oh, buddy, you bet. Yep, it's going to be great. Love doing it, bringing you all the Magic action from around the world here. Grand Prix, Pro Tours, all of it.
You know what card we haven't seen at all this weekend that kind of upsets me?
What's that?
Curse of the Swine.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. All right, we're underway here. Voyaging Satyr this is a side match here. Pierre-Christophe Mondin, and that is James Fulgium on the left. So PCM on the left there. He's playing Voyaging Satyr, a card you like quite a bit.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
And this is the reason why. It lets you play 4 drops on turn 3. We were talking about comparing it to Opaline Unicorn, and you said you like the Voyaging Satyr a lot more because the difference between playing a 4-drop a turn early and playing a 5-drop a turn early, the 2 to 4 versus the 3 to 5 gap is a much different animal.
Yeah, and also, you get to actually play a 3, where there are a lot of really good 3s in the format.
All right, so it looks like Rage of Perforos and Prescient Chimera have been exposed.
This is pretty nice ones to get exposed.
No kidding. He's got 3 better cards than that in his hand. Maybe he's you know what I would think if my opponent did this? I'd think that he doesn't have any more lands in hand. And he's just like, here's my 2 most expensive spells. I might not get to cast them. All right, we're going to head back over to our main feature match area. And there it is, John Pennock on the left, Will Lowry. This time he has a 2-drop, Traveling Philosopher. Sounds like such a nice, smart, talkative person, but really it's just a bear that beats you down.
Yeah. He's kind of not a very kind philosopher. He doesn't have that much to tell you.
He tricks you. Unless you want to read the flavor text, there's a lot of that. Yeah. All right, Battle-Wise Hoplite is
philosophizing.
Yeah, is his turn 3 play. Unfortunately, not a 3-drop, but still a very solid 2-drop for him here. Let's see what John Pennock comes up with for his turn. See, he's got that the Horsefish, Breaching Hippocamp in his hand. That's a 4 though, so that one's not coming down quite yet.
Looks like he also has a Burnished Heart in his hand, which he may want to play. He may also want to play Agent of the Horizons.
Yeah, there it is, Agent of Horizons, and he's just going to say go here. This is going to be tricky, though. He can't realistically block here, can he?
I think you kind of have to.
Oh,
Trading
really?
the Agent for a trick is fine.
Okay.
Most spots.
Okay. See what he decides.
That's what's going to happen.
Block. A lot can go wrong here, though the worst case, like you mentioned, is just a trick trade. Oh, he says sure.
Yeah, and that's great for Pennock.
Yeah,
He's got to be happy about that.
Very happy about that. And here's a 4-drop, though, for Will Lowry. A Philosopher and an Acroan Horse. Here, I have a gift for you.
I don't think Pennock's too upset about that.
That's actually a
good
pretty
against his
darn
deck,
decent
though.
blocker against Will Lowry, right?
It is a pretty good blocker against Will Lowry, but something else that's interesting to think about is the 1/1s that Will Lowry is getting are going to be really good against the Battle Masters, and those
You're
are
right.
the crux of John Pennock's strategy.
It's a great point, Jake. I mean, those Battle Masters, as big as they get, they still don't have evasion. No trample, no flying, no unblockability, no intimidate. They can still be indefinitely chump blocked. And, you know, that's the downside. I mean, the upside is that they get ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
And if your opponent has a steady stream of 1/1 soldiers to get in the way, it definitely makes Centaur Battlemaster look a lot worse. And he's going to say go. So it looks like he's got a he's going to go for the Breaching Hippocamp play here.
And that makes sense because it's not completely unreasonable to imagine that Will's just going to bash with both, and then he can just gobble up that soldier with the Hippocamp.
He could also have the Horizon Chimera in hand, potentially. Remember that one he wheeled?
That would be exceptionally nice here.
Yeah, I don't see it, though. Yeah, no, he doesn't. So, Horsefish it is.
Horsefish.
That's a pretty good combo.
Look, I'm just reading the rules text on the card. All right, so... Oh, he's also got a Savage Surge that he could use to 1-for-1. No, it's going to be the Breaching Hippocamp. And what is he going to take down here? Just block the soldier for value. Yeah, there he goes. I did notice he has a Nemesis Immortals in his hand, too, with one card in his graveyard. So that is something that could factor into his decision-making down the line, too. You know, just, well, if I get a creature in my yard, I get to play this a turn early, something like that. Is that the clone?
Ooh, I believe it is. Artisan of Fates?
I believe so. Interesting card. Kind of a tricky one. You have to target it, and then it gets to... When you do, it gets a trigger, and then it can become a copy of any creature on the battlefield.
Right now, there's not really much that you'd want to copy,
No,
though.
there's really not. You certainly don't want to make an Acroan Horse of your own.
Definitely not.
We know it's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want one.
I see what you're saying.
It might take a lot of people to make that horse.
Yes.
It's like the clown car of Magic cards. They just keep coming out. Like, da-da-da-da-da-da. You know? The Benny Hill music.
All right, Breaching Hippocamp. Get in there. Whoa, easy. He's got to rein in the fish horse here and make a decision pre-combat, it looks like. And he's just going to run out that Nemesis Immortals here. And he's actually just going to pass the turn back. That was his one opening to get an attack in with the Breaching Hippocamp where it would actually trade for something meaningful, because now there's going to be another soldier, and I'm sure that Will would be happy to trade off a couple of soldiers for the Hippocamp.
So all of these gain flying. And Pennock did not realize that Breaching Hippocamp did not have flying. As many have not. It's pretty confusing. We've all made that mistake. That's a mistake you have to make once.
Which mistake?
He thought his Breaching Hippocamp had flying.
He did?
Yep.
I was writing down some results Rusty was bringing me. Timothy
The reason
won his match
Marshall
2-0.
was so happy about him forgetting that is because Marshall earlier this weekend was stating that Breaching Hippocamp should specifically say that it does not have flying, because
Yeah, I thought that
everybody believes it has flying.
Yeah, I thought it should say
true.
that its special ability was not flying.
Yeah. I mean, I've attacked it into a 4/4, and then they've blocked, and I've been like, How? What?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
Not exactly.
That also explains. Remember when he took it pretty early? I mean, if I thought
you
I had
it was
flying,
a flash snapping trick. That's sick.
I would probably take it that highly too. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
We've got to remember we are still very early in Theros here. So, Tyler Brandstetter, for those of you following at home, he's up a game in his match, and Timothy Thomason, he won 2-0, so he's into the semis.
And here, this Pegasus is kind of taking over the game.
There's your favorite hoplite plus all of these soldiers. Now these are just soldiers, right? They're not human soldiers.
That's correct. They're just soldiers.
Okay.
They're not race specific.
Yeah. All right. Agent of Horizons for John Pennock. He can also follow up with the Burnished Heart. There it is. All right, so he's getting as many blockers down as he can, but like you mentioned before, Jake, that Cavalry Pegasus is doing some pretty darn decent work here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the horse plus Pegasus plan is one of the coolest things that Will's deck can do.
Mm-hmm. Horse plus Pegasus plan.
Yeah, a little, horse statue plus a horse with wings.
All right, John Pennock drops down to 7, draws his card for the turn. He's got kind of an awkward ordeal of Thassa in his hand.
So he may have to.
Sacrifice him.
I think the correct play here is probably to put the Ordeal of Thassa onto your Nemesis Immortals.
Mm-hmm.
Attack with it. And maybe the Hippocamp. And then end step Horizon Chimera.
Mm-hmm.
And then pop the Ordeal on your turn by monstering the Nemesis.
By what?
Gain the extra life. And
By
maybe
whatting
you
the
can try to win
Nemesis?
a race. What?
By whatting the Nemesis? I didn't hear what you said.
You can use the Monstrous on the Nemesis.
The Monstrous on the Nemesis.
To then
yes.
pop your Ordeal of Thassa on the next turn and get 2+1 counters on it. Out of it, plus you get to gain a life from your draw step and gain life off both Ordeal of Thassa triggers.
It's a lot of value.
And thanks to Horizon Chimera's ability to eat one of these Pegasus, it may actually give you a window to kind of win the game.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's possible to win this race in that situation, but that seems like the best math you could ask for. He's going to go ahead and attack with these and not use that Ordeal right now, though. Will Lowry with a couple blocks.
A chump block and a couple of and a little trade-off for the old horsefish. That is going to make that monstrous ability even cheaper on the Nemesis Immortals.
Yes, it is.
Currently reduced by 2 mana thanks to the 2 creatures in the graveyard. Let's see what Will Lowry comes up with for his turn.
Yeah, now he can get in there for 4. He can attack for 6 right now of flying power.
Okay.
Which is probably what he's going to go for, but he doesn't realize that only 5 of it's going to make its way through, and then the Chimera is actually going to jump John back up to 3, and then John might be able to find his way out of this with a Ordeal of Thassa getting cracked.
All right, here it is. Horizon Chimera. This one does have flying.
This one does.
This 3/2 with flash does have flying, so he's trying to decide what he wants to jump in front of here. Another issue that that John faces. I mean, not that he's already under enough pressure as it is, but he's also got to be careful because if Will does have a way to target something, he can actually make his Artisan of Fates into the Agent of Horizon, and he can actually pay to make it unblockable too. You got to be careful of that.
And he clearly recognizes that. He is going to go ahead and...
He has to assume that his opponent can't target it right now, but that doesn't mean that he's not one draw step away from it. And killing one Pegasus doesn't really get the job done. He needs both of them to be gone. But he's going to take 4 here, drop him down to 3 life. And he just didn't use that mana for the ordeal there. Just didn't do it. Yeah, I just feel like you want to get those counters rolling as fast as possible.
Yeah, that's why I would have put it on the Nemesis last turn, because also now, can you Monstrous and cast the ordeal on the same turn? Does he have the mana to do so?
I'm not sure.
Because that was the whole way that he would have been able to gain enough life.
Yeah, maybe he can just do it.
Crack back.
It actually costs a full 9 to do the Nemesis, so it's 7 mana for him currently. So no.
So no,
not both.
All right, so he's going to need to use this ordeal here. He's still not cracking the ordeal. Pretty surprising to me.
All right, so there's a chump block on the Nemesis. John Pennock up a game here, looking to make it into the semifinals. He's in the
quarters. Down to
quarters.
7 here. Let's see what he has in his hand.
Will Lowry's at 7. Nothing. He could be saving mana up for that Nemesis Immortals, but with the endless stream of tokens, gets a little bit worse here.
It doesn't really seem like the greatest thing.
Is that an Ordeal of Heliod?
It looks like it, yes.
Okay, so that's going to give that guy a counter. Also make it so that he... Wait. Shouldn't John Pennock be at 4 from his draw step, or?
Yes. Or did he go to 2? And go to 3 from his draw step?
Man, I can't remember. He might have missed it too, though. It's possible.
I suppose that is possible.
Is that a Grip Tide?
It is a Grip Tide.
All right, here's a Grip Tide. All right, so John Pennock just hanging in there. That was a lethal attack there. But he does not die, and in fact has really wrestled control of this game from Will Lowry, and John looks like he is poised to head in. All right, so he called it out, so he might have been
and yeah,
at a lower life total.
He took 3 and he went to 1, so he was at 4.
So he just was at 4. It just wasn't updated on the graphic. That makes more sense.
All right, so we're going to see this whole ordeal.
It's been waiting. Ordeal's like, put me in, coach. Let's do this.
I'm ready, coach.
John's got to be really careful, though, because he either needs to win this turn, gain some life, or find a way to deal. Looks like he's found a way to win, so that must be blocked, and it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it.
Yep, and there it is.
John
by the
Pennock.
skin of his teeth.
Yeah, he barely makes it through there, but he does. He finds a way. Sigh of relief there, and he is into the semifinals here in Oklahoma City. So,
Will Lowry, great run for him here.
A fantastic weekend for Will. We really have to give it up to the guy. We mentioned it at the top of the round, but he only lost 1 match going into the top 8. He 5-1 draft, and he 9-0'd the sealed. Really impressive.
Yeah, such a sick run.
Yeah, especially on a brand new format like this, where it can be tough. Like, maybe you open a really good sealed pool and you just put together an amazing day 1, but then drafting is a little more taxing on the skill end of how to build a deck in this format, but now he found it anyway. Got the lifetime money leaders here.
At the top of the list, we see Kai Bude.
Yep. John Finkel second,
Shuhei Nakamura, who's here coming in 9th place.
Yeah.
I wonder if this has been updated.
From today?
From today.
Could have been. I doubt it. Gabriel Nassif, Olivier Royal. There's another Royal down at the bottom.
327,000.
Yeah. PV, Raph Levy, LSV, Brian Kibler. A lot of Hall of Famers. That whole left row are Hall of Famers, right? Yeah, they all are.
I think so.
Yep, lifetime money leaders. Maybe they should just use that. That was a joke.
I don't think that's a very good.
That was a joke. Got Saito over there on the top. Another Japanese player, Yuya Watanabe. Nikolai Herzog.
Ben Stark.
Camille Cornelissen, you mentioned him earlier this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, he is. Most of the Europeans consider him just the greatest of all time.
Okay, yeah, and there's Jelger Vigersman. You mentioned him as well, actually in the same breath. You said just they were both very consistent players.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, they're the guys who top 16 every Pro Tour they play in kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's move back over here to Pierre-Christophe Mondum, and he is playing up against James Fulgham, and looks like PCM had the first game win there, but we've got a board state that's an arena athlete.
Yeah, and look at this. Look at all of these lands that Pierre has in play. I imagine something happened here involving some sort of ordeal perhaps an ordeal of Nylia.
Yeah, there are 10 lands in play, and actual Nylea. Do you see that down there, Jake?
Yeah, and I mean, that works pretty well with that ordeal, huh?
God of the Hunt. Yeah, having a bunch of extra is just fine. And there's a Leaf Crown Dryad that's on a Disciple of Phoenix here. It jumps in front. Pierre goes down to 1, and he is going to attack for lethal here. And that's it. All right, good timing. Right when we come in, the match ends.
Look at that. Oh, wow. And James revealed the top card of his library. Here at 1, Spark Jolt.
Spark Jolt. Unbelievable.
Yeah.